Hello guys, this is Kirill, your Justice analyst living in Germany and ready for another analysis video. And today we are reacting to one of the most unique countries in Eurovision, and it's Albania. Albania is a kind of a country which doesn't really care so much about what the European audience will think about their entries. They just send something what the juries in the country or the public in the country find the most appealing, but they're not trying to please the average normal European taste buds. And this year they even had a super confusing system in their national final, where not even one of the top three of the final results would go to the Eurovision. However, the winner of the special televoting. And in the end, it was Besa Dima, I think that's the correct pronunciation of her surname, who is actually a very well-established artist in Albania. I was so hyped when I saw that Besa will represent Albania, because I think 12 years ago or 11 years ago, I was a huge fan of her song Tatuaž na Zemer, which won Kenga Magike Festival in Albania. It is such an incredible song. I think it was definitely my song of the year back then. But she also had a lot of other cool songs, like for example Amelia. So when I have realized that this Albanian representative is actually the same Besa to whom I was listening so much to like 10 years ago, I got super excited. I have watched their national selection performance, which was filmed already back in December. I thought the song was actually a very cool one, but definitely not for Eurovision stage. It was way too generic. It also lacked any hook or whatever. So it was clear that they will revamp it. I haven't heard the revamped version yet, but I really hope and keep the fingers crossed that the new version is something what will bring Albania to the final, because Besa definitely deserves that. So apart from the initial songwriters of the song, also one person who was responsible for the song Karma for Albania 2021 was involved. So let's see if it will now go more in direction of Karma or will stay more true towards the original. The spinning platform, was it also not used by Georgia this year? Interesting trend. You try and set a fire just to watch me burn. It's like you don't know. Her voice here in the beginning for me sounds a bit like Sia. Am I the only one who is thinking like that? That I will survive, learned how to stay alive. Come and throw your flames, cause it's all in vain. Oh, even if I fall, I'm gonna get up. I'll be standing. I can't even believe it's the same song, because if someone would show me this now and would say, okay, Albania wrote completely new song, I would be like, okay, yeah, sounds nice, but I haven't heard it before, so I can't even believe that this is the same song. Wow. I'll go down, I'll never break. Like a titan, I'll be brave. Tonight, I won't give up, fight till the end. Okay. It sounds really very different. Here I can at least recognize the same melody which we had in the refrain in December, but still she added this I part, which I think was partially used by the backing vocalist like after the chorus in the initial version, but not together. So yeah, it's a really interesting redesign of the whole song. Every tear's gonna ricochet. it definitely looks much more expensive. It looks kind of more, yeah, like a finished product, because what we saw in Festivali Ikenges in December looked slightly confusing if you try to imagine that the same performance would be on Eurovision stage. For me only, I have to say, now it sounds slightly more generic than the initial product. I think it kind of lost a bit of its uniqueness, but let's see, maybe it will come.
You're so wrong, you're so wrong. I'll go down, I'll never break. Like a titan, I'll be brave.
But really interesting that the same person who was behind Karma is behind this one, because I think something similar has happened to revamp of Karma in 2021. Like the initial version sounded kind of outdated, but I liked it. It was kind of special. And then the revamped version sounded slightly more bland. In the end, Angela in 2021 brought it all together and qualified to the final. So I think in the case of Besa, the revamp didn't necessarily make the song better, it just made it more Eurovision appropriate, but its success will really, really depend on charisma of Besa. She is a very well-seasoned performer, so I think she can do it. And generally, all the visuals in this music video are all so well thought. They come up together so well. I'm really interested what kind of concept will Besa go for the live performance in Malmö. It can be any of those. I think this face mask, which we now can see on the screenshot, actually is the most memorable one, where she has the dress with this long stripe between her legs. I think this is a super slick, cool look. But this concept with the mask, something like this, we haven't seen, maybe only by Sheldon Riley from Australia, but he was really hiding his entire face behind the mask. Here, the mask actually tries to highlight the beauty of Besa. No, I'm not the same. I think it's an interesting concept which can drag attention if the song is, not memorable enough. Yeah, this part with claps feels a bit forced. It's like if you are getting a song and you're told, make the best out of it what you can, then you will add this kind of things. You will add, backing vocals, claps. I just feel that it's all slightly forced in the song. It doesn't really belong there. Maybe that's the issue of the fact that we have heard the previous version, so now we have something to compare to. If this would be like their first initial product, we would see it. Maybe we would say, well, this all comes up perfectly together. But once you have seen something else, you got used to it. Now it feels slightly odd. I'm a titan in disguise. Well, this is a cool switch, in the end, let's add some energy, but I think it comes so late. We are now at 2 minutes, 38 seconds from those 3 minutes. If this kind of more upbeat part, more Balkan-styled part would come somewhere after the first chorus, for example, people would like to stay there with Albania and listen till the end. But I think it comes so late that by this time, people will just already tune out. Yeah, again, feels just slightly forced and wrong placed. Well, beautiful music video, super talented Besa, maybe slightly generic song. So, unfortunately, I think maybe it's a wrong entry for Besa. She's such a talented singer. She had so many amazing songs in the past, and seeing her to come to Eurovision with this, for me, it's slightly disappointing. It's not a bad song. It's quite generic, nice to listen to, but does it leave any impact? I don't think so. So let's take a look in which semi-final Albania will take part this year. So Albania has been drawn first half of the second semi-final. So the second semi-final is generally you could think more open one because there are many unsuccessful countries, but actually they brought really strong songs this year. So I think this semi-final will be quite tough, and being in the first half of the semi-final is not adding more chances to qualify to the final to Albania. So let's just take a look at which countries they are competing against. Austria, Malta, Switzerland, Greece, Czechia, Denmark, and Armenia. From this lineup, we have already heard Malta, Greece, and Denmark. And I have to say, in my opinion, all these three countries have better chances than Albania. And now it's time for some televoting statistics from semifinals of the last years. So you can see that Albania is actually a sort of constant borderline country. So they were finishing always between 8th and 12th place in all the last 8 Eurovision semifinals. This is a really incredible result that they managed to always stay in this danger zone. Their best result was in 2015 with the 8th place, and the worst were 2 years afterwards, 2016 and 2017, with the 12th places. Interesting that their best result of all this, last 10 years was actually in one of those years when, with televoting, Albania was not even qualifying. It was Eugen Pushepa with Mal. So he was basically just saved by the jurors in the semi-final of that year, and then in the end managed to even finish in top 10. So Albania is, let's say, a country which will not be highly hyped by the televoters. Therefore, we cannot expect that they are definitely qualifying based on the historical record. And now it's time to take a look at what the bookmakers think about Albanian entry this year. And I have to say that Albania is ranked higher than I would have expected. They are currently at place 23, which puts them below Estonia, Azerbaijan, Armenia, Serbia, but above Cyprus, Slovenia, Poland, Spain, and Australia. So maybe this is again related to the fact that all last years Albania was really making it through to the final. However, you saw there were sort of borderline qualifiers every time, but it was every time just enough to be in the final. So this year they are in this tough semi-final where 16 countries are competing. Only 10 can qualify, so it means 6 countries will be out. And I'm afraid that it might be the year that Albania will break the successful record of the last years and might finish somewhere in place 12 or 13. And now it's time for the Eurovision Scoreboard app. So in the Eurovision Scoreboard, Albania is ranked, 35th. So actually one of the last, so 35th from 37 entries, only above Iceland and Moldova. Oh my God, I'm already very excited to hear what Iceland and Moldova brought to this contest. So it basically confirms my expectation that Albania is slightly too generic this year. I think if they would perform in the second half of the semi-final, then people would maybe have their performance more fresh in their mind. But the first half, generic song, and not even the best generic song of the first half of the semi-final, this all sounds not too promising for Albania. What kind of live staging can we expect from Besa? I think this year they will again go for black and red colors because people already expect this kind of color palette from Albania, and I think it would fit the song actually quite well. And maybe let's take a quick look at the lyrics of the song. I mean the English version, Titan. So you can see some of the lyrics on your screen. So basically Besa is just singing about the fact that she is unbreakable, strong, no matter what you do, she will, stay there still and strong and even stronger than before. So it's kind of super generic lyric. It's not really clear if she's talking about a guy who broke up with her or some huge disappointment in life or how life is generally tough to her. I'm not 100% sure what's the message from the music video. We also couldn't get an idea. I think they just took some generic lyric from generic lyric machine and edited there. So this is what I thought about Albanian entry this year. Slightly disappointed by the fact that Besa, whom I was craving for to see at Eurovision since so many years, came up now with this kind of song. But did you like Titan? Maybe you're one of those people who have voted for Albania in the Eurovision Scoreboard app, so not one of those who would agree with the 35th place. Do you see Besa qualifying? Maybe you got some insights how the potential staging might look like. So please let me know down below in the comments what do you think, and join me for the next deep dive video.